In this video, I'm going to show you how to write a 30 out of 30 answer for the academic discussion task in TOEFL writing. You will learn how to structure your answer, how to use advanced grammar and vocabulary, and more tips and tricks to boost your score. If you're going to take your TOEFL soon, check out my TOEFL courses. There, I teach you everything you need to score high. I show you step by step how to give high-scoring answers. And of course, we do many practice tests together, so you will feel confident for your test. You can find the link in the description below. And now, let's get started. The TOEFL academic discussion question looks like a chat room. Your task is to answer the professor's question using information that is not discussed by the other students. You need to be respectful of what the other people say, but the style doesn't have to be like a formal essay. You have 10 minutes to write over 100 words. Let's take a look at the question. Your professor is teaching a class on business. Write a post responding to the professor's question. In your response, you should express and support your personal opinion. Make a contribution to the discussion in your own words. An effective response will contain at least 100 words. You have 10 minutes to write. Now, read the posts of the professor and the students. After that, I'm going to show you how to write a 30 out of 30 answer to this question. Now, let's take a closer look at the posts. First, you need to understand what the question is. The question is always in the professor's chat, and usually it's the last sentence or two. In this example, the question is, do you think this is a good development? Why? This is vague. The TOEFL writers are checking whether you can gather information from the entire passage, not just one sentence. If you have a close look at the chat, you can tell it refers to the trend of requiring workers to exercise. You need to pick a side of the argument, whether you think it's good or not. Remember, there is no right answer. I decided to write that it's a good development, but you can get a full score if you write about it being a bad development too. The TOEFL examiner just looks at how well you present your argument, not which side you pick. You must also answer the second part of the question. That part is the why. Next, read the student's views so that you can decide which you agree with or not. Remember, this task is like a class assignment in which you are having an online conversation with the other students. Your response needs to fit in with the others rather than stand alone. Since I will write about mandatory exercise being good, I have the same view as Marco. I need to make my arguments different though, so I will focus on teamwork rather than on the company's productivity and profits. That's all the preparation during the test that you need before you start to write. Now, on to my response. In the first sentence, I paraphrased the original topic. Here's what I wrote. Some people question whether companies should have the right to require employees to join exercise programs. Notice that the basic ideas are all found in the professor's text. You don't have to paraphrase every word, just enough to show that you understand the topic and have a wide range of vocabulary. I wrote question instead of debate and join rather than participate. I also summarized the yoga and stretching as exercise programs. Here's the second sentence. I agree with Marco about mandatory exercise being beneficial, but I'd like to add that the benefits do not just help the company's bottom line. This was really easy to write because I agree with, about, but I'd like to add that is on my template. I always use templates for TOEFL writing. Templates give you sentence starters and you just need to complete the sentence with your own ideas that fit the topic you are given. This means that you don't have to think about how to start your response. Additionally, they include great vocabulary, which helps you score high. You can find all templates you need in my TOEFL courses. Just click on the link below. Here I used the sentence starter using the name Marco to show that I respect his view. But I'd like to add shows that I'm adding my own ideas and not just repeating his. My contribution is that the company isn't the only thing that benefits. In the question, Marco talks about increasing the company's productivity and profits in the long run. I paraphrased that using the idiom bottom line. I'm really comfortable with that expression, so I can use it with confidence. However, I want to give a word of warning here. If you're not sure about an idiom, don't use it. If you make a mistake with the wording or the expression, no one will know what you mean. You will get a lower score using an idiom wrong than if you use simple words correctly. Let's move on to the next step, giving an example of your view. For example, taking exercise classes allows employees to interact in a different way than they do at work, so they can view their colleagues in another context. The linking words, for example, show that I'm giving an example now. Remember to use linking words in your response because they help you improve your score. I also used colleagues instead of workers or employees to show off more of my vocabulary. You only have a few sentences to convince the TOEFL examiner that you know English, so make sure you paraphrase. This sentence also uses a few complex grammatical structures. I use then to establish a comparison. A comparison needs to have the same grammar before and after it. So I checked that employees to interact and they do at work are comparable. The do stands for to interact, so it fits. I also used so followed by a clause to add the result of the previous sentence. These could be two sentences, but using a linking word makes it into one complex sentence. By the way, if you want more sample answers for TOEFL writing, write yes in the comments. If you want something else, tell me your video wish in the comments so I know what you would like to see on this channel. I decided I wanted to explain with a little more detail what I meant by the previous sentence, so I used the linking word specifically here. Specifically, they may learn about hobbies or abilities that the other person would not normally discuss in the work environment. This sentence concisely shows a result of the interacting while exercising. Now the reader knows what the employees get, information that they would not have heard at work. I could go on about how that information could develop into friendships or something, but it might make it harder to follow the original idea of mandatory exercise. Therefore, I move on to the next example. Moreover, participating in the activity together could build a greater sense of teamwork if the individuals help each other in reaching their exercise goals. Moreover is an awesome linking word. It's perfect for changing to a new reason supporting my argument. I used an if clause to make a more complex grammatical structure. In this case, I used could to show that the result is possible, but doesn't necessarily have to happen. The if clause also contains if the individuals help each other. Now, pronouns like that can be complicated, but proper use of pronouns is an awesome way to boost your score. Therefore, make sure you think of sentences that use complex pronoun forms to demonstrate that you understand them really well. A quick note regarding the length of your response. You may think you have to write lots and lots, but writing more in the academic discussion task doesn't mean you will get more points. It's better to write short, clear ideas that logically flow together. I've said all I need to because I gave my main idea and two examples. Now we can move on to the conclusion. In other words, mandatory exercise can strengthen the interpersonal relationships between the company's employees. This sentence basically paraphrases the main idea I have been talking about. I used "in other words" from my template to show this is the summary of the whole idea. I selected interpersonal relationships for the final sentence, so I can leave the TOEFL examiner with a great impression of my vocabulary. I also used company's employees instead of employees of the company, so that I can show that I understand the proper use of apostrophes. Finally, don't forget to proofread. Proofreading is really important because you can catch mistakes in your writing. Go back and check that pronouns match, that verbs agree with subjects, and other grammatical details. Also, look for places to change your vocabulary to eliminate repetition. Further, make sure that the text has more than 100 words, because it would be a shame to get a lower score for a simple mistake like that. If you are curious, this response has 126 words. That's it! That's how to write a 30 out of 30 answer for the TOEFL academic discussion task in TOEFL writing. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their TOEFL score too. See you in the next video!